All right, so we're going to talk about Alienation TV and how I kind of got screwed.
So fake TV then.
Yeah, fake TV. I'm 10 grand in debt over this. This fake company cost me 10 grand because I spent 10 grand of my own cash and credit card stuff to deal with this.
Listen, I would sue the skin off those people. Okay, is what I would do. Or specifically, Mr. Grifter.
Mr. Grifter. Yeah, I am not happy with him. Anyways, so you were there from the very beginning whenever I started saying that something didn't seem right. And everything's like he knew the corporate language because he has gotten a few accolades for selling things. He's a salesman, but his companies, all they ever did was sell things. Everything that he'd done, he, how do I put it? He exaggerated his involvement in the things that he was able to do. One of the things that he did was he lost a company 200 grand like a month, something along those lines. He lost a company a large sum of money. Like the company closed its doors because of him. They asked him to fix a programming thing. He said he could fix it, and they wound up losing several million and had to close their doors over it. Anna's got more information on that. But Brent, he always talked about how he had all this money, yet for some strange reason he was living off his girlfriend's money. Interesting.
It always bees that way, though. That's how it always is. These people always have an abundance of cash, but oh, they don't have access to it, or oh, there's a reason they can't use the money, or
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to
bizarre.
save, or I'm on a budget, or it's always an excuse.
He was claiming that the system was holding him down, something like that. He tried to incorporate again, but he had somebody else fill out the paperwork with his name off of it, which is interesting.
If we
First,
believe that
yeah,
version of the story.
yeah, he tried to do that with Alienation TV. It started off with his girlfriend, and then he tried to do that with one of the other founder individuals whose name I'm not going to say. I'm just going to call her the G Rat because um, the way I would describe her is she calls herself the detrans mom. And the thing about her is a lot of the detransitioners who have spoken with her, she actually reminds them of one of of their parents that terrified them and brought them.
Hmm.
Yeah, so you do notice a lot of the detransitioners, they have not the greatest relationship with their parents. This person, who I'm just going to call the rodent, G Rat, was a lot like that. And then we had Megan Walsh. Yeah, I'm naming names here because there's a lot of information on this individual that is not exactly nice. She came into the mix very
Megan,
late into the
why does
game.
that sound familiar?
Okay, so I think the guy's name was John Walsh, Unsolved Mysteries, that guy.
Is Megan Wolf okay? No shade. Is she a tall behemoth of a woman?
I don't know how tall she is, but I mean, she is John Walsh's daughter, and she apparently I can't remember if it was Kanye or P Diddy, but she had one of those guys' friends' kids.
Okay, no, it's not the same one. Okay, okay, never mind. Because the
But
woman I'm
yeah,
thinking of, she's a tall Jack and the Giant Beanstalk of a whole. Okay, never
she
mind.
came in
Sorry.
late into the game, but yeah, I mean, just like still, she accelerated things to a. Yeah, it was because of her that I realized that this Alienation TV thing was not going to work out. Because the energy that I was getting from Megan and Brent was that they were thinking about fucking each other, and were they? I don't know, but they were so much up each other's ass that I could not possibly believe within a single fragment of my being that they weren't in cahoots with each other and thinking about all the money that they were going to make. And they always talked about the child custody system being evil, and yeah, I think it is evil, but they're using that as a grift to get money and attention.
Not to mention, whenever you have a platform and you are giving others an opportunity to voice their stance or their, whatever it is that they're passionate about. It's alluring to some people because, a lot of us just want to get our, whether it be art or a message or, our issue, so to speak, or whatever we hold near and dearest to us out. And so, even if there are red flags, a lot of people
We'll
look
just
at
look past them.
they see the forest for the trees and they're willing to overlook such said things. Like, maybe you're doing business and the business is kind of janky, but if I can get my message out there or whatever it is, I'm willing to overlook certain things or to give certain graces, whatever. But it comes
Yeah.
and like what you're going through, what you went through with Brent, I feel like it gets to a point where it's like, all right, I've invested in this, I put in time, energy, and work,
And 10
and
grand.
nothing is coming from it. And it's also red flags are popping up everywhere, like they're like weeds.
Yeah, well, cam guy and IT guy, and I'm not going to name their names because I don't think they'd appreciate that. They started noticing things were wrong, especially because the IT guy came over and all the stuff that Brent said that was going to happen, like they were going to be doing everything in the house. That like IT guy was going to live in the spare bedroom. Nah, literally that weekend, Brent broke up with his girlfriend. Well, she left him and accused him of being gay.
That tracks.
Now, I didn't know too much about the older guy. I mean, I had a couple late night conversations with him. I mean, seemed like a great guy. Guy blocked me because he was thoroughly convinced that I was playing both sides. And no, I mean, I could see how the paranoia was up in the air. The guy was incredibly stressed out. And when he left, like, he came across the seas from England or Scotland, I can't remember where, saw this place, and his trip to America was absolute hell because of Brent. Brent spent most of the time high or drunk. At
That
some point
tracks.
while they were driving, Brent grabbed the wheel, which also brought me to another story that Brent told me well, forever ago. Brent told me that his ex-wife, the one that is the mother of his kids, that she did that and tried to kill him while they were driving. And I known Brent for a while. I mean, like this story, whenever he told it tugged at my heart because like this is some shit that one of my exes pulled on me. Similar things, not that exact thing. So I mean, he knows how to worm his way into people's hearts, all for this grift of his. But he had been, whenever we were working on getting the documentary done, one of the things that came up was we had the script wrote out. We were relying on them for the funding because Brent was saying he had all these investors. We had one investor, and that was the G Rat. Older lady who claimed to be the D Trans mom, like Brent claims to be the D Trans dad. The G Rat, who I'm not going to actually say her name because, yeah, I don't want to give her any sort of publicity, and she might be able to turn things around. I have faith that if she understands exactly what she's doing is wrong, she might be able to turn things around, but, I just don't see her actually understanding what she's doing is wrong. Yeah. Do you know who I'm talking about? The older lady that wouldn't let me speak during that interview that I showed you?
Oh, I don't.
Ah.
Is she unhinged?
Yeah, unhinged. Yeah, but like there's the
That tracks.
conversation I had with Brent, Megan, and the G Rat, and she just would not stop yelling at me. I'm pretty sure I absolutely killed her ability to have anything in the D trans space anymore whenever I gave that video to Anna. But, yep.
I don't know. And this whole experience, because I've gone through something similar, you know, years ago. It makes you weary of even wanting to work with other people.
I mean,
You
I'm
know what I
like that
mean?
to begin
Like it
with.
just it makes you not trust people. It makes you think that everyone has an ulterior motive. Like, and certain people are just full of it. Like, and I get it. Like, a lot of people out here are making themselves out to be more put together than what they are. And I get it. And you do that sometimes, in this business. I can understand that to a certain degree. But to make it seem as though you have a whole company and a whole production and it's like completely fake, like it
Yeah,
doesn't
the
even
website.
exist.
Yeah, the
That's some shit.
the website he had lived on a couple laptops. Like we were talking about how we're gonna do whatever with it, and I asked him how he's gonna integrate that into actual servers. He wanted it
He
to
had
be
a
on
link tree. That's what he
Google,
had.
the Google whatever the fuck thing, the Google Cloud services, and I don't think know if you are aware of how much that actually costs. That costs a stupid amount of money, and we didn't have the backing for that. We didn't have any of the investors for that. We didn't have any of that. We had the possibility of a Formula One team that Brent threw away by pissing off our European IT guy and freaking him out. Because the entire time our European IP guy, well, British, was here, Brent made him uncomfortable. Of course, there's the thing with the car. Apparently, when they were there in the Mall of America, Brent was saying some uncomfortable things that I'm not going to repeat because I cannot prove he said these things.
So what was it? Is this maybe that's where the gay rumors came from?
Um, no, no. It was something that happened in the hotel, but
See, this is sounding more gay by the minute.
yeah, it was in. It was. Yeah.
Oh my
It.
gosh, a
it
scandal.
I'll explain that off camera.
I love a good scandal. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I need to be more present and in the moment. I need to be around more. Okay, look. I should have been involved. Okay, look, I would have been the biggest scandal a scandal has ever seen.
Oh God. But you look young. He likes them older.
I mean,
We're,
that's what
we're
makeup's
kidding. We're
for,
kidding.
darling.
Allegedly. This is all allegedly. Allegedly, he done some things and said some comments that were not good.
Well,
Allegedly.
officially, unofficially, allegedly, yes.
Allegedly, he said some comments about young girls. Allegedly, he walked out of the shower in nothing but a towel and pulled his pants down where you could see everything. Allegedly, I forgot about the allegedly loophole.
Was it a nice everything?
I don't know because the IT guy was not happy about it.
So it wasn't even nice. Well, damn.
Okay, well,
Not only is he over
the
here
IT guy was
allegedly
straight.
doing misconduct and harassing people,
Yeah,
but
good.
allegedly it's not even impressive. Well,
Yeah.
damn.
So this money, it didn't exist. We're spending all of one individual's money, and that is G Rats. And well, she wanted to pay for a few things, and at first I was resistant, but she kept pushing the idea of making sure that we had all the equipment we needed. So I'm like, okay, fine, fine. You can buy me the drone. You can buy me the laptop that I need. And those have actually come in pretty handy. And then afterwards, I decided, you know what, I can't have her spending all this money on me. I got me a credit card, and I've already maxed it out for the project. I bought a fucking motorcycle for this thing. That bike that you see in all the photos, I bought that for the project. I'm not even kidding about that. On credit card.
My God.
Yeah, it was for the project. Because I had belief in this project. I was believing 100% that this project was going to go through. We were going to do some things. I actually got close to one of the detransitioners.
Nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, I still talk to a few of them. I talked to Layla, man. I talked to yeah. I actually want to be interviewing Layla later on, and I'm not gonna say the names of the other ones just in case they want to keep their privacy.
I do know Layla. Layla is really good people. Like
Layla is good people.
she's a
Everyone,
gem.
yeah, she's wonderful. But I got close to one of them, and we needed to have all the dates locked in. We needed to have all the tickets ready and all that, and just it wasn't happening, and we had no idea why. Me, the camera guy, and the IT guy, and things were going on with the IT guy. This is when things were going to hell for the IT guy, who came across the seas from, I think it was Scotland or the UK. I can't remember. Oh my head itches. And he winds up going back, and I get a call from Brent, and turns out the IT guy was paying for a lot of the hotel bills and stuff like that. A Roach Motel, and they were just going off the internet there. I think just work
Oh
plumbing
no.
away. Well, IT guy said that it was all crap. What Brent had, he basically used AI to make the site in general. He was basically trying to copy Netflix's loading screen, whatever the fuck thing, and it was a demonstration, and it all lived right there on those laptops, which I kind of expected that. I understood that, but I expected him to have the connections and whatever for server space, and he wanted to use Google Cloud, and that was not money we had. I was questioning this, and he was not happy about that. Brent got mad at me when I questioned him about that later on, but that's a conversation for later on in this topic. The camera guy and the IT guy, he actually had Formula One connections. He was going to have us on the side of a race car if things panned out. Those bridges got burned. Camera guy, he had some professional contacts, like people who were in like the indie movie scene and the circuit. Like we're talking about like fucking doing red carpet, fucking wearing Alienation TV, suit and ties and shit like that to debut our documentary, which was called "What If." What if things were wrong? What if things were not good? What if these people were lied to? Talking about the detransitioners. And we had all these plans, we had the script, we sent out letters of approach to certain individuals, high ranking government officials that have been promoting transition for minors. And that's all the documentary was asking for, to not do transition for minors. We weren't talking about the adults, we were talking about the kids. Let's not transition children. And all the things that we need to actually get the documentary done, we didn't have. We had the corporate email thing set up, which somebody else paid for, not Brent. We had the streaming thing set up, which somebody else paid for, not Brent. It was the camera guy. And after the IT guy left and went back over across the seas, G Rat paid for Brent's hotel for a couple weeks or a couple of days. I can't remember the exact timeline here. But what winds up happening with Brent, he winds up. There were some slightly famous people. I can't remember exactly who, but Anna talked about this. People who are high-ranking Republicans of some sort. They bought Brent's sob story about how he had been alienated from his kids, and he got high off something. I can't remember what it was. He, I think it was Xanax, and after a day, he was outside, or like early in the morning, calling the police, asking them, saying that there was a hostage situation, punching out windows, saying something about his wife, which he hadn't been married for quite some time, and the guy who gave him shelter beat the piss out of him. And he wound up in jail a couple days for that, and that led to a whole kerfuffle there. And I'm sure you remember that. Like I got the picture of him after getting beaten up by the cops and the guy, and I turned that into a fucking muppet.
Oh no.
The price of a grift. Yeah, I'm gonna go put it in the chat.
This
Just
is
in case you
all
don't
just
remember this
very
one.
scandalous, is what this is. This is very look. See, this is why I need to be present more in the moment. Okay, I just wish I were more involved, because this is just sounding like as terrible as it is. I just wish I was there and more present. Like at least if I were more involved, it would have been fun. You know what I mean? There would have been laughter. You know,
There would have been some giggles, but you know.
and also there would have been misconduct, of course. But that we could cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh yeah, I should put that on a freaking t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he looked like a freaking muppet. And then there was yeah. So before all that happened, before the whole him be getting arrested and beaten up and all that, like
Beaten up
when
and arrested, you say?
yeah the IT guy left and fuck, I gotta bleep that out. And then our okay, that is at 21 minutes. Yeah, I gotta leave a sticky note on that. Okay, 21 minutes. All right, where the fuck did I put my pen? 21 minutes. So after the IT guy left, our camera guy left, and he left a message about how the company wasn't real. They kept asking other people to incorporate. We needed to be incorporated, and that was because they decided that they were going to do. They invited this girl named Megan Walsh on, and she has a history of saying things that are not exactly correct, allegedly. And she's been sued up and down. She lost custody of her kids. There's a lot of things that are not so right there, and this is the daughter of John Walsh, the unsolved mysteries guy. And supposedly one of her kids just so happens to be one of the kids of I can't remember if it was P Diddy or if it was Kanye West. One of their friends is the father for one of her kids, and she's got this thing on her nose, and the theory is that she did that from snorting way too much drugs. She says it's like lymphoma or cancer or something like that, and me, I'm with her behavior, I kind of don't believe that. I could be wrong, but still, like just burn out the inside of her nose because she fucking snorted all kinds of different shit, and she was all friendly and shit with me, and she was like extra friendly with the camera guy who had a bunch of allocades in different things. Like this guy, he had industry contacts. This is the kind of guy, like he's worked on professional movies. He's worked on a good amount of things. He's gone and done things. Big, big things. We had an internationally well known IBM tech guy who had contacts to Formula One. We had a professional photographer slash videographer guy who has his name on several high priced movies and things of that nature. He's worked on some big ass projects, and then he had me, which should have been a fucking red flag. Hmm. I'm curious where this is going.
Well, honestly, when you're a grifting grifter of a grifter, you really don't care about other people. You're just more concerned about the grift.
Yeah, and he
And, it's
grifted
just
good.
sounding like this Brent character is very sketch and scandalous. And I'm not talking about his lack of funding. I'm not talking about his poor moral character. And I'm not talking about his alleged homosexuality proclivities, which I'm not judging, but I'm just saying it takes a sissy to know a sissy. Um, I'm just saying, it
Like my
is what it
gaydar
is,
is usually broke.
Um, but it's just this whole situation is a bit sketch, very
Yeah.
sketch, and it's just very unfortunate, and it's caused a lot of pain, a lot of people to, like go into debt and just have their time wasted for nothing. And from my understanding of the entire situation, he's rattled a lot of people. He's ruffled a lot of feathers, and he's more than pissed off a whole community's worth of people. So
Yeah.
I don't know. He's gonna have to do something to get it together. Like the last thing he wants is like a witch hunt, okay, of people after him. And I know because I've had a whole witch hunt of a trial of people after me, and it is not fun. Well, I mean, it's not fun at first, but after
Then
your
after a
second
while.
online mobbing, you're pretty much golden after that. Like after you get mobbed twice, you've got this in the bag, pretty much.
Oh my. But continuing on with that, it's like because of this, my standing within that crew of people, the
It's shot.
detransitioners, it looks like shit now. Especially since I was talking to some high profile individuals, and I promised them things, and it went to shit because I was lied to. I couldn't deliver what I was promised because I put my faith in somebody who was a liar, who was just trying to get money. So a thing that was always coming up is whenever I talked to Brent, and be like, he would always bring up how he just wants to go and live off in the nice sunset and retire and sell the company after a while, which I got. And then whenever we started to not have money for things and a lot of the things started to fall apart, he started shifting and talking about that. Don't worry, we just got to keep this going on as long as possible. Got to spend G-Rat's money. G-Rat's money. Now, even though I was not in the best of moods with G-Rat, and I was beginning to think like she's stepping on some toes she shouldn't have, I'm still willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. I told the IT guy and the camera guy that I wanted to have one conversation with her, see if I could salvage her, because I'd have nightly conversations with her. She'd just call me at random, just talk my ear off, and she seemed like a sweet person when she wasn't being a stupid ass about certain things about her little fucking whatevers. And I told her my concerns with Brent and the other person, Megan. And yeah, it turns out Megan's got some grifting things too, so allegedly. There's a whole bunch of different stories about things that she's done. Supposedly allegedly going to court drunk and in a miniskirt, like she's going out to the club and all that other crap. But this is John Walsh's daughter. These are alleged things that she's supposedly done. And just something about her just honestly kind of like felt off the moment I met her. So I told Gwen my concerns, and I wanted to talk to her about it. And whenever I went to go talk to her about it, guess who was in the call? Against my will. Brent, Megan, yeah.
Of
This is
course.
after we basically burned the fucking bridges with these people, these detransitioners, when we weren't getting the fucking Airbnb, the fucking flight shit, and all that other crap. Like, because we were screaming at the top of our lungs, me and the camera guy, we need to get this locked in right now, because otherwise the flights are going to be more expensive later on. And we were willing to spend our own money at times. But then, Brent's just like, no, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Yeah, let me just, have some fights with my girlfriend while I try to have gay sex with our IT guy.
No, that tracks. That's yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
from my experience, that's exactly how it works, honestly. Like the people like this Brent character. I mean, first of all, closeted individuals. on their own are just shifty people. And I can already hear people, how dare you? Well, I dare. Okay, look here, because it's true. Okay,
That's what
if you're,
happened. That's what happened in the
you know
call.
what I mean?
They
Because you already have something to hide. So, like, miss me with this kind of perceived moral high ground. But yeah, this type of behavior doesn't, like when you first told me about it, it didn't surprise me at all because I was in a space with him um months ago and I think you were there and just he said a lot of nothing but used a lot of words about a specific topic.
big
And I
words.
think yeah, the host was like, "Oh, you're so eloquent." And I'm sitting here thinking, he's not. This was a whole nothing burger this man just said. But I guess if you just use a lot of big words and you can talk over people a lot and charm them to a certain degree, yeah, I guess to certain people, yeah, you sound as if you're just super intelligent when you're really not. But, whatever. Like, to me, that's nor here nor there. But I
That's how he
just,
got all these high level contacts. He'd infiltrate spaces and talk to them about these things.
yeah,
He'd show up in Bill Corbett's spaces. He'd show up in all these different spaces with high ranking individuals and he'd try to latch onto them because he's a fucking leech. And he paid me $300 to make a video. Like, this is like one of the things that we did when we met up whenever I was doing my whole skull mask thing. And yeah, he applauded my creativity and gave me all the fucking love bombing to get me to like fall in line with this bullshit because he'd been plotting this for a while because he mentioned Alienation TV then, and I'm like, okay, let's see some things there. Well, we'll see where this goes. I wasn't gonna jump on it immediately, and I thought I got to know him well enough. I'd talk to him at least once a week, and yeah, this was all part of his plan. When I went back to talk to G Rat, Megan, and Brent about things, I only got about 10 words in over about 2 hours, and that was just me just doing this. And tell me I look creepy doing this.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. And it was just like me just sitting there listening. And they sit there and just like personally attack me when I had some like honest to God questions. Like, okay, how are we paying for this? How are we going to like shift over? How are we going to migrate from Google Cloud, which is great when you start up, to our actual service? Oh, you just want to do that? Well, what about the infrastructure here? You're literally doing this all on a fucking laptop. A couple laptops. Some of them are aged. And it's like, what happened to these investors? I've got a senator in my back pocket. Apparently, he's been talking to people in high ranking positions, but the moment you look at his court documents, it turns out he said some not so nice things to his kids. He said something along the lines of, like, well, like, well, you ruined it for you and your sister. Like, you both buried this. You did this to yourself. So, like, these are like 13-year-old kids, 13 and a
It
12
doesn't
year old.
shock me at all.
And this is the same thing where he's acting like, oh, I was alienated. No, you alienated yourself from your kids. I saw this and I'm just like, oh my. The person who showed me this, they were worried that I was going to be on his side with things. And no, I wasn't. At this point, I had basically decided I was done with him, and I'm I'm not dealing with his crap anymore. But like, I was curious exactly how far the rabbit hole went because this other person, the camera guy, who I shall not name because he wants to keep his privacy, the IT guy, who even though he was paranoid that I was playing both sides, no, no, no.
Well, if all of this is to be believed, then he definitely went down someone's deep, deep rabbit hole.
Oh God. But the IT guy, he wanted to remain anonymous, and I'm gonna respect that. And like, Brent screwed him up because it's like he was untrusting of me, and how many people trust me? most people trust me. They think I'm an asshole. They think I'm a bit of a degenerate, but they don't think I'm untrustworthy. I've kept
That's fair.
secrets for a lot of people. I'm the guy that women like to call drunk at 3 a.m. to talk about their fucking problems to. I'm the one that they ask to hang out so they can get drunk and talk about their problems and then have sex with.
Oh, well,
Yeah, yeah. That is like 30 bodies of my body count.
everyone has to have a passion.
Yeah, it's like I lost my dating company over this. All the contacts and momentum I had and the things that I was doing with that, it's all gone now. Like, I mean, I could get back into it, but it's not going to be the same. Like, I'm going to re-release the book that I was working on. Yeah, I've made some additions. It's basically a second edition now, but it's gonna have a different name and all that other fun stuff like that. And you know what? And the biggest thing is that the stuff Brent said he was gonna do, I'm gonna do because fuck Brent.
Well, you may as well. Like, don't wait for anyone else either.
I'm
Like,
not waiting for him.
you got to go after it because waiting on other people. And I made this mistake for a few years myself. Waiting on other people will make you stagnant, and you will forego opportunities, not just out of like loyalty or obligation, but just because you believe in the people that are supposed to be helping you or working with you. And like any opportunity you get, don't fail to take it. Don't fail to try. Don't fail to see where it can lead because, waiting on other people, like I said, it will make you stagnant.
Yeah, that entire conversation. Just thinking about it now because it lives rent free in my head. It is like one of those moments. It is going to be a core memory where I asked these questions. I just got shat on by three people. How dare you ask these questions? How dare you? I'm asking because we need to know these things.
Yeah, people don't normally like it when you ask questions, though.
They don't like it when you ask
Not
questions, and
much
they
of it.
really don't like it whenever you bring up valid points. And
That
that's the
too.
thing. They got mad, mad. They got big mad. And Megan, I never trusted her to begin with. Just something seemed off about her. G Rat, honestly, I feel like she's doing it for status. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where she doesn't even know she's doing it for status.
I
Like
mean,
I
with a
feel like
name like
it's that.
G-Rat, I mean, one has to wonder.
Oh, I mean that's the name I'm giving her. Like I'm gonna actually say her name. Let me see what's the timing on here. This pen ain't working. Damn. It's just because that thing's dirty. Yes. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you know that one?
No.
Okay. Well. I'm gonna hand you her information later on. You can look at her and just you can tell that she's just something ain't right. But she had a few
You
high
know,
profile things, and now
I'm
she's
an
just a
excellent judge
fucking
of
saint.
character of people who aren't right, so
Yeah. Well, that bitch. Because of Brent and everything that he's done, I'm gonna live the dream he fucking promised. I'm 10 grand in the hole. I lost my job. I don't exactly have anything to holding me back, other than a lack of money. Which is why one of the things that we're gonna do, like Steven Crowder has Mug Club, selling my fucking
mm-hmm.
wallets. Like I've had this one, like I made this myself, and like it's lasted me. Like it looks brand new, basically. Like it doesn't look old at
You know
all.
what? And no one wants Steven Crowder's damn mugs, okay? Nobody wants those.
It's
People
like
probably buy them. You don't want them, okay? Nobody wants those.
yeah, but a wallet. I mean, like that's something that you can just, have, just throw it in your pocket. I mean, this is a minimalist wallet. You throw your cards in there, you just go. And like I got all my cards in my mine. And this is supposed to be the upgraded version. I don't know exactly how I feel about using chrome tan leather for this particular design though, but It's also pretty. And this veg tan leather, just premium fucking veg tan leather.
I like
It's
it. It
nice.
just looks like a very hetero wallet.
What's a gay wallet look like?
You know, um, so it has more compartments. There's like a zipper compartment for like my change, the one I have. Um, the inside is glow in the dark. What else?
You
There's
know, you're gonna have to
embroidery
send
and
me a
designs
picture of
on
this.
mine.
You're gonna have to
And you
send me a
know,
picture. I want to
and it
know what a
matches my
gay
bag
wallet
too.
looks
It matches my
like.
bag.
Oh look, we got a short. But it's like, what does a gay wallet look like? Like, yeah, this is hetero. I mean, I'm pretty sure ultra gay biker dad would like this. You know, I should ask him.
I
Hold
mean, you
on.
should. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
I'm gonna send him a message right now. I was like, hey,
gay wallets. They're just fabulous. They're just fabulous.
for more awesome content, support the project by buying our t-shirts. Just remember, we're gonna make it. Well, here's my declaration. All the dreams and lies that Brent Bowlby had promised with his fake company, Alienation TV, I'm gonna have them. I'm going to have them. I'm going to start by interviewing interesting people. You tomorrow, by the way.
I hope you do get all these things, but also, I do like the name Brent Bowlby. That not gonna lie, the name's kind of hot.
The fuck, Preston?
It just sucks that he's a grifter.
Sucks that he's a grifter and a liar and a general piece of shit. And it's like, dude, try
Yeah,
something. I will fucking beat you in court. I will beat you in court and I'd love to fight you in the fucking arena, you goddamn fucking beanpole. Fuck you.
I should probably, I should probably find out if he's single or not.
Oh, and get some videos, and while you're doing that, while you get the videos, every single time you hear him talk about how the family and whatever whatnot, just post that shit in the thing of him getting his fucking shit packed because I feel like you're gonna be the top in that relationship because you ain't no bitch and he acted like a bitch long enough to grow a pussy. So you'd be
Oh
having
my
straight
God.
sex for once.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, if you act like a bitch long enough, you'll grow a fucking vagina.
Oh my God.
That might actually be the only bit of misogyny you've actually seen on this channel.
Oh, is that going to be the only bit now? Is it? Oh,
Well,
okay.
it's like I don't
Well,
actually hate women. I don't. I actually have a high opinion of good women. It's just like whenever you see the trends for what makes a shitty man versus what makes a shitty woman, like the way that trends is totally different. So whenever you hear women talk about like shitty men, they're like, yeah, it always trends in this certain way because that's what you're attracted to. Whereas you hear men talk about how women are bitches and whatever whatnot, usually the problem there is the guys don't know how to be attracted to women. So, there's that. Yeah,
well,
I
that
should
no,
go
I've
on about
noticed a lot of dudes want to have their cake and eat it too. Like,
like
there's one thing I've
I want
noticed
a
from
trad wife.
being a man and dating other men. They We tend to not like it when we're called out. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many, men I know, straight men even, who will sit there and be upset at their like girlfriends or wives for finding out they're cheating on them, kicking them out. Like, the women will kick them to the curb because they found their side piece. And the men are like shocked and bewildered and upset, like, oh, how dare she? And I'm like, well, as if she doesn't have a right to be upset. I feel like it's both. Like we as
Yeah,
people,
like
we
that's
have a
literally the
we have a
same
habit of
response.
picking
Like,
terrible partners.
yeah, that's literally the same response for the other gender. Like, whenever you see like guys kick out their ex, whenever and they act all surprised, like, oh my god, how can you leave me? Literally, one of the things one of my exes did whenever like fucking I left her and kicked her out of my apartment was he's like, you're not just like, where will me and my kid go? Your parents' house. I know they said you can come back anytime. I was there when they did it. You're not just breaking one heart, you're breaking two. No, I'm breaking one because you never really fucking
Well,
cared.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, I miss that kid. I hope she's all right. Yeah, like
You know,
I'm
it
attached to her kid. Like her, I was just done. But her kid, oh man,
you know,
I
that's
pray
what
for that.
sucks too.
Yeah.
Like every breakup has this kind of sort of collateral damage, so to speak, like where you just have to let go of, what you hold nearest and dearest. Like you just can't, like whether it be kids or pets or, certain things or even friendship groups, like you just can't keep some of the remnants of your old life while you're trying to move on. I mean, it sucks, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And you know what? It all begins with me selling wallets. Like, oh no, the leather wallet company, I'm fucking expanding on that. No and or ifs or fucking buts. I'm gonna have that because I'm not gonna be like a lot of these fucking streamers who go up and go big and then they fucking wind up rich for and with a $300,000 house and then suddenly like they have no money, they have no idea what the fuck to do, and it's like wallets, wallets, because everyone needs a good wallet. I'm really attached to the rivets on here. Like I'm gonna fill this thing up and I'm gonna carry this around to see if the rivets catch or like cause any problems. But like the biggest thing I had with the rivets was like this side of the rivet. You see how the copper smashed down?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like if it's not done right, it kind of catches and gets on people's clothes and shit like that, and causes holes in the pants. So if I'm gonna use rivets in a design, I want to use it in a way that's not gonna cause damage to people's pants.
Oh, so if it's not done right, it'll cause holes in someone's pants. Well,
Yeah, like normally it's like
so
you
yeah,
see it, it's a little bit bulbous. Like I smash these fuckers down.
you smash them down, you say.
Yes, I smashed them down
I
violently,
like this. See, I knew this would
electrically.
be a good conversation.
Yes, I like smashing things down. But yep, that's my declaration. I lost 10 grand on a fake company. Me, an IT guy who had like ties to IBM, and a Formula One team that was supposed to be a sponsor, and a rather well known photographer slash videographer. And he's doing great now. Good guy. I want him to be in some of the spaces that I'm in, but I think just like the whole Brent Bolby thing just kind of like turned him off of being around any of us. And me, I still want to work on this fucking documentary. I want to do one on the detransitioners. I want to. Because I feel like they're owed that. Especially after what fucking Brent pulled.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely doable.
I feel like I should take him into the fucking arena and toss him around a little bit too. I've
Okay,
only
we
said
can't do
that
all
like,
that.
what?
We can't be doing any of that.
No, if he's in an arena, it's perfectly fine. He gets to hit back too and not worry about me suing. But that's okay. I want him to hit me. I want to see what he
No,
can do.
there will be no violence now.
Oh, I would love to, just fucking just knock the shit. Oh, I think I forgot to mention earlier. And this was like the fucking gut punch of the whole thing that things were not as they seemed. After our IT guy left, and he realized that he wasn't going to have much time to spend in any of these hotels or whatever, he started talking about, like, he was insinuating that he wanted to move down here with me. I can't have that. And he told me he wasn't allowed to leave state. And given
Does he
how
have
he had
warrants?
basically at this point kind of fucked his reputation with me, and he didn't know it yet. Yeah, no. Especially after I got told you tried to fuck our IT guy. Allegedly.
I feel like it might be true.
Yeah, I think what was trying to happen based on the story of what I was told was that like Brent was trying to turn him on, and I can't think like unless money's involved, I can't think of a time I've heard of a straight man having gay sex. Oh, money in
Well,
prison.
if a male is having any intercourse with another male,
It's
we
gay.
we've that straight is just that's just a decorative term.
Well, you're the expert on these matters, not me.
I mean, and I always rail out against dudes who claim to be straight and then they will openly have sexual encounters with other men. I'm just like, gee, if only my high school bullies had known that, yeah, having, same sex relations, is allowed and you can still be straight. Well, gee, someone should have told them that. I mean, maybe I could have kept the bulk of my lunch money. No, that's not how that works. Of course not. It's idiotic. It's freaking stupid. These people are just in denial.
I remember hitting a kid in the head with a log when they asked me for my lunch money.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, I was like,
I always tried to be very non-confrontational as a kid, but just it
yeah,
still baffles me. You can literally just, have a whole rendezvous with like random men as a male and then be like, "Oh, but it's different. I'm straight." Oh, who knew?
yeah, some people. Yeah, and he's also one of those I want to talk about family values type individuals too. So fuck him. But
Family values.
there's the story. That is why Be Greater exists in the form that it is. I mean, I wanted to do the whole motivational thing for a while because I just think that a lot of guys they just don't give themselves enough credit. I mean, I'm not in the best of my life situation, but I got my head up high. I'm on something, and you know what? There's no bigger motivator than fucking spite. Now, is there?
I was gonna be on something too tonight, but I decided not to.
Now you're hearing me do it instead. Anyways, video done.
It
Like,
it would have been
share.
illegal something.
Oh, 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 oh. We're not talking about that. Like, share, subscribe. You can buy some merch down below, and guess what? Walls are coming up on the shop real soon. I
And
really like
matching
the patina
bags.
of this veg tan. Like, I am really hoping that the prototype for the next one is just as good. I mean, like just look at this ox blood finish. I mean, this is like nice, freaking Herman Oak leather. Like Herman Oak and Horween are just like some of the nicest shit ever. It's like a dream to like carve into and just cut and just like. Okay, I gotta shut up before I just go on a giant leather nerd rant.